Corey, the AFC West.
I will go ahead and kick off with the Denver Broncos because I kind of feel like there might be a little different than you guys on them.
Oh, okay.
Head coach, I'm going to continue my tradition of to be determined. Rookie head coach, hard to know what they're going to look like. It's good offensive mind, but we'll see what happens. There are a lot of expectations for a rookie head coach, though. Offensively, being most obvious, they added Russell Wilson. One of the biggest quarterback moves that I can think of happening in some time. It felt like they didn't have to give up a ton to get a franchise quarterback at his age, too. I would say a couple of years now, they've looked like a team that was a quarterback away from the playoffs, and they got the quarterback. Losing Tim Patrick for the year is definitely going to hurt. He was a really good number 3 wide receiver for them. We'll see if Hamler or somebody can step up. Him, Cleveland, someone, but they still have a great duo with Judy and Cortland Sutton. And I think Cortland Sutton, when healthy, is a legit number 1 wide receiver in the NFL. Another year off of his injury, I think, will do wonders for him. And Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon are a really good 1-2 punch. Fantasy wise, I don't know if I would touch either of those guys because it does sound like there's a good chance Denver will be committed to that timeshare for both of those guys, but it's a really good duo, and Wilson should provide a significant upgrade for that offense. Defensively, I would say the most notable move was the really large deal that they gave Randy Gregory. We'll see how that works out. He had his struggles in Dallas, staying on the field and everything. So hopefully it works out for him, but TBD on that as well. Their secondary is incredibly good. I think the one thing of note for that defense is the potential for a little bit of a drop off with Vic Fangio gone, because you lose a tremendous defensive mind like Fangio, it's going to be hard to be at that same level. But you look at all over that defensive roster, it's really good. Overall, I think you got to watch out for the Broncos this year. We'll see how things mesh, how long it takes Wilson to settle into the offense and everything, and see just how that defense looks with a new defensive coach in there too. And I think the only thing that could potentially undermine them is if Hackett just falls on his face as a head coach. Because, new quarterback, new coach, first-time coach, really tough division. But I really like them. I think they could end up winning the AFC West this year, and I got them at 12-5.
Craig, Denver Broncos. I'm not mad at that.
Daniel Hackett, obviously he's first-year head coach, former offensive coordinator for the Packers. So he should bring a lot of offensive mindedness to this team that I think, especially with the quarterback position that they've had for the last, since Peyton Manning pretty much left. They really haven't had a quarterback. So I think getting Russell Wilson in that trade definitely helps. And it's going to help Hackett as well because, it's first year. Why not? It's better to have, obviously, Russell Wilson at quarterback than Drew Lock or Teddy Bridgewater. So this is really good for him to have. Kind of takes a lot of pressure off of him for the most part. But, it's still pressure there because everybody was saying for the last, 4 or 5 years that the Broncos are just one quarterback away. So now they had that quarterback in place. Obviously, there is added pressure to that. So it's kind of to me, it's like a 50-50 thing. There's pressure there because the team has been just a quarterback away, but it's better to have, but then there's you have a veteran quarterback there that can kind of alleviate some of that pressure versus having Drew Lock. So, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens with him as the head coach this year. Obviously, Russell Wilson is one of the better quarterbacks in the league, so it should be a fairly easy transition for him to come into this offense, especially with the guys that they have at receiver. I like Cortland Sutton. I drafted him last year. Obviously, he got hurt, so that was a bust. But overall, I think he's healthy this year. Jerry Jeudy, I think it's like his third year, so he's really good as well. So I mean, these two guys together, I want to see what happens when they're on the field together for a full season. So this should be, and we have a quarterback like Russell Wilson. I mean, it should be a lot easier for them to make plays. Obviously, Melvin Gordon and Javonte Williams as the 1 and 2 running backs there. They have a really good one, like Corey said, a really good 1-2 punch there. So I don't really see a drop off there in the running game. I know Melvin Gordon's getting up there in age, but Javonte Williams, if he can take that next step, maybe instead of being like a 50-50 split, it can be maybe like a 60-40 if he can start to separate himself later on in the season. The offensive line is a solid offensive line. Nothing too crazy there. Oh, I want to see what happens now that Noah Fant's gone. They have Albert, whatever his last name is, the tight end. So I want to see him kind of step up into that role. He was kind of doing it last year a little bit with terrible quarterback play. So now he has better quarterback play. Obviously the Denver Broncos putting the last, even with Peyton Manning there, the last year they won Super Bowl, have been known for their defense. So obviously their defense is still strong this year. They were, I believe, like a top 10 defense or borderline top 10 defense last year. So there's no reason why they shouldn't be there again. They have really good corners. Really good young corners, especially Patrick Surtain Jr. or the second. So he should be along with Ronald Darby. So those two guys should really start to anchor there. Justin Simmons is one of the better safeties in the NFL as well. Kareem Jackson's there. So their secondary is really, really good. The linebackers hit or miss. Defensive line is also middle of the road, but overall as a unit, it's like they just work well together. They just gel well together. The problem is, which is the problem for a lot of these teams in the AFC, is that you're in the AFC. So, and then this obviously is the toughest division in football, where, I mean, obviously you play each other. We played 6 games against your division, so you're probably going to be beat up on each other. So, I like the Broncos, but I don't know if I like them as much as I don't like them as much as Corey. I'm gonna say that right now. I kind of have them at 10-7. Borderline making the playoffs, at least contending for the playoffs. It's going to be tough because they're, like I said, they're in the AFC and they're in a tough division. So I think the first 2 games, obviously, or first 4 games, obviously, I think, well, first 3 games, I think they can win. The Seahawks and the Texans are pushovers, so they should start out 2-0 at least. After that, it gets a little bit more difficult, and then they get some easier games in the middle, and then the last 6 games are going to be tough for them. So I got them at 10-7.
All right. Okay, guys. So I like the Broncos. I think Nathaniel Hackett, first year, coming from Green Bay. But see, he's gonna have a difficult job. If you're an NFL head coach, your job is difficult, right? But Russell Wilson eases some of that, man. So, and I think they're both building an offense around him. It's going to be it's going to be awesome. And I think Hackett's going to let Russ cook. So, offense, Russell Wilson, new Broncos quarterback. I think he fits the culture. He brings leadership, swag, whatever it's Russell Wilson. He's already setting the tone. He's already done off-season workout with the young receivers. They're saying the energy level is different, and that's what you want from a franchise quarterback. Just like everybody, the Broncos are one quarterback away. I think they are. Running backs, Javonte Williams, Melvin Gordon. Melvin Gordon specifically came back because of Russell Wilson. So I think they're gonna have a great 1-2 punch. Unfortunately, like Corey said, Tim Patrick was gone with the torn ACL. I think he was really building a rapport with Russell Wilson. But let's hope they said that rookie Montreal Washington is turning heads. So, but it's always this early. We gotta see when pads get in. We gotta start seeing, what really goes on, what really happens. I do want to see what the rookie does. Not the rookie, the tight end. Oakham. I don't want to butcher Albert. That's that. I'll call him Albert. So I do want to see what he does instead of Noah Fant because he was balling last year. We got glimpses. The O line is pretty good. We got Garrett Bowles. This might be Russell Wilson's best O line. Maybe. We'll see. Defense, they got DJ Jones as the D line, Mike Purcell. So the D line is good. And with the edge rushers, they got Bradley Chubb and Randy Gregory. Let's see Randy Gregory. If he's another question mark, but if he's on the field, I think he's gonna flourish in this defense. And then you have off-ball linebackers Alex Singleton and Josie Joel. Once again, the line they're gonna be able to fit right in because of the pressure the front four are gonna get, and then the back end where teams aren't gonna, throw the ball, right? The no-fly zone. They got Ronald Darby, Kareem Jackson, Justin Simmons, and Patrick Surtain. That is very, very good defensive backfield. Like that is, their defense is going to be really good. So, all in all, I think the Broncos are going to start out slow, even though the schedule suggests that they're going to win. Right? You just gotta hear me out. It's gonna be ugly wins. The offense isn't gonna be in sync, and this is the perfect start they're gonna get. So when I mean slow start, I don't mean by win wise. I mean by their offense isn't gonna be clicking. By the time those tough games come, they would have gelled, and then I think that's when they're gonna be dangerous. And I have them. They're gonna be competing for the division with the Chiefs. This is just me. This is what I think. And I think they're gonna go 11-7. Maybe 12-5, but it's gonna be good. They're gonna be good.